Many times, it's not our product or service that has a problem. And this is where, and I say this almost every week, a lot of businesses get sidetracked because we seem to think if our ads stop working or our landing pages stop working or our campaigns stop working, it's because our product or service is flawed or we need to make a new offer or a new product. And oftentimes that will waste 3, 6, 12 months and we'll never really be understanding what the real issue is. And here's the real issue. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Scalable Marketing Machine Podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Hajar, and today we're going to be talking about what to do if nothing's working. If you've ever experienced just like your marketing not landing, your message is not hitting, but more important, your ads, your landing pages, your campaigns not converting, this episode is for you because today we're going to be talking about the missing piece in your brand communication strategy, which is your messaging. Many times, it's not our product or service that has a problem. And this is where, and I say this almost every week, a lot of businesses get sidetracked because we seem to think if our ads stop working or our landing pages stop working or our campaigns stop working, it's because our product or service is flawed or we need to make a new offer or a new product. And oftentimes that will waste 3, 6, 12 months and we'll never really be understanding what the real issue is. And here's the real issue. The real issue is that marketing is a constant shift. It's a constant game that you need to be paying close attention to. Our clients, our customers, they're living their lives, and we need to be conscious of what things are happening, what is on their brain, what are their problems that they're facing here today, each and every month, each and every quarter, each and every year, because that will shift and change. And of course, this podcast is the Scalable Marketing Machine Podcast. I want you to build a scalable marketing machine so you have the systems and the processes and the strategy in place to be so it frees up your time to focus on this very important question. How your messaging, your specific messaging, speaking about the hooks, the copy, the subject lines, the headlines, the way that you're going to shift and change the big marketing messages that are going to grab the attention of your ideal client or your ideal customer so you have the time and the creative energy to actually focus on this moving target because it is a moving target. And I'm going to give you a lot of examples of how this plays out in real life and what you can do to ensure that the messaging that you put through your campaigns, through your ads, are actually timely and connecting with your ideal client in the moment that they need it. Because our timing of our messaging, that is what is going to move people into action. And we want to make sure that that is consistent with the lives our ideal clients, our customers are living. Okay? So let me first show you a little bit about how this shows up in real life. Through my Scalable Marketing Machine framework, I advise the founders that I work with and also the actual marketing departments that I've managed and led myself as a marketing director or chief marketing officer through the years. I believe very strongly in having a consistent campaign calendar throughout the year. And I truly believe that planning for one promotional campaign per quarter is sufficient, it's wise, it's effective, because there's two sort of scenarios I see in businesses. One that is either never kind of doing formal campaigns, and so we never have like a bigger push or bigger way of getting momentum into our business. We're just kind of like flat all the time, and we're just hoping that people will choose to work with us. Or the opposite's true. We only communicate with clients and customers when we're trying to sell them something, and we need to have a good balance of that. So having a cadence of one campaign per quarter is what I recommend, and also making sure that that campaign is created intentionally, meaning that there's a full crescendo of the campaign, meaning we have a pre-launch moment of our campaign where we're getting people excited and whispers that things are coming, to the pre-launch time, which is like before things are, before open cart, right? Anticipation to a big promotion or a big sale or a big launch or a big product update or something like that, right? And then we've got our actual launch time, which is our open cart time, when we're actually getting people to move to action to kind of complete the purchase. And then there's that post-launch period where we're gathering information about what went wrong, what we can do better next time. And that takes, a good 18 to 32 days oftentimes to kind of set up that whole thing. So it's a couple weeks, and we want to make sure that we do it with good timing, good cadence. So if we look at our campaigns on a quarterly basis, that means that we're running 4 campaigns a year, right? And if we get into the psychology of our ideal client, we can recognize that in these different quarters of the year, there's totally different things that are going on in their minds and inside their own business, right? Every business has their high seasons and their low seasons, right? Every business goes through those cycles. And so you want to think strategically about your ideal client and the mindset that they're in that particular quarter, and then design that campaign that's going to connect with your ideal client based on what they're going through at that time, right? So let's use a really great example. My audience, you guys all listening, are female founders that are moms, just like me. I've got 2 kids. So my psychology, right, as I'm also my own ideal client, is that, Q1, right now we're in Q1 when I'm recording this, is, holidays have just ended. Kids have been home from school for a while. Me as a business owner I've been doing my goals last quarter. I'm really revved and energized and ready to go and ready to invest and to really make some big plans and all of these things. January, February, March tends to be a very high season for my business. Actually, same for Q2 in the spring, right? Spring is that, January to June is a very strong period of time for service-based B2B businesses, because it's, again, there's a lot of momentum that can be picked up. And again, there's just the focus and the energy and the willingness to invest and all those things are strongest in Q1 and Q2. Q3, as a mom, as a business owner, working a lot of B2B, tends to be a very quiet time. Many people are out on vacation. I myself like to take some time off and really unwind and detach and have my systems flowing, have things on autopilot, have things batched up so I can truly enjoy my vacation. And so that's not a real momentous action time. It's kind of like a reaping what you've sowed kind of moment where you can kind of enjoy the summer. So summer seems to be a slower season for me. And those are all of the things going on in my mind. Whereas opposed to Q4 is a little bit of a interesting moment for B2B businesses, where there may be a lot of power going into maybe October and the first part of November to kind of finish strong. But then as the latter part of November, a lot of time off for kids, holidays, Q4 seems to slow down for a B2B business, whereas opposed to things are actually really picking up for a B2C business. So you want to be conscious about what is your own business, how it ebbs and flows, and how the businesses and the lives of your target client ebbs and flows. Now, I explain all that because the campaigns that you craft, it's incredibly important to make sure that the subject lines, the hooks that you're using for social, the hooks for ads, are acknowledging the season that your ideal customer client is in their lives at this moment. So if I'm thinking about the things that kind of stop my scroll, right? If I'm scrolling through social media, what actually grabs my attention? Well, if it's May or June and I'm gearing up for vacation, I'm going to be interested in products or services that help me to batch things, to put things on autopilot, to better communicate with my team, maybe to goal set or get things very clear for them so I can actually unwind around vacation. So if I'm looking at ads or email campaigns that are helping me to do that, because that's my mindset at that particular time, those are things that are going to grab my attention and be more interesting for me because that is the season and the moment in the life that I'm living right now. Okay. Let me give you like a wildly different example that also showcases this. So I have one founder in my Scalable Marketing Machine Accelerator that is a commercial roofer, okay? B2B, service, based business, commercial roofing. So their target client are property managers. And her campaign structure is, okay, roofs. Sounds boring, but it's actually, the boring can be quite fun. So for roofing, it's like, property managers, they have, when winter is coming and snow, they're in a whole certain mindset of the things that they need to worry about maintaining their properties. So we have campaigns going out for that business that at that moment and promotions that are, okay, when it's coming up to that season, we're going to be speaking about weatherproofing for winter, for ice, for snow, because that's what these people are. These guys are thinking about that at that time. And that's what reels them in and attracts them. That's what we're talking more about inbound messaging, right? Things that connect and draw in our customer and client. Those are going to be always easier customers to convert into paying customers or clients, right? So we want to think, what is this property manager thinking about at this time? What is your customer or client thinking about at this time? And you want to make sure that you tailor make the actual copy and imagery and ads that are the communication pieces of your campaign for that quarter that match exactly what's going on for them at that time. One big pitfall, right? I love systems, right? I love processes. I love systems. I love doing things once and then kind of putting it on autopilot. But the reality is that is not possible when it comes to messaging, because we need to, our customers and clients need to feel like we're with them in real time, right? So yes, you can create campaigns that you roll out at certain times of year that have similar messaging, right? So if you do Mother's Day sales, you can have Mother's Day messaging for that campaign, but I would implore you to double click on and review all of the copy and all of the flows and all of the pieces of that campaign around that particular time before it launches to integrate, upgrade, and improve upon, okay? So that's oftentimes why things are not converting and not working. We're just simply not connecting with the messages and the mindset of our ideal client and target client, our ideal customer at that particular time in their life. So I think we've set the stage for that. The next piece of this is I want to help you to understand how to get that information. So if you're like a little bit unclear on what is the mindset of your target customer at certain points in the year when you're going to be crafting your content strategy for that quarter, or crafting that content email sequence, or crafting those ads for that campaign, there's a couple things at your disposal. So as a founder of a growth startup and scale up, chances are you're very close to your customers. You're very close to getting, you have insights into the feedback of your customer service team. If you have a customer service team, that you're seeing DMs, that you're seeing comments on social media, that you have your hand in a lot of these things. But if not, I would implore you to put some time in your calendar, carve out some time to sort of consciously tap into interacting with your audience, with your community, and really understanding things that are going on in their lives. Now, that's a way that you can do it kind of peripherally and sort of like not, but it kind of reactively, right? You kind of look at sort of things that are coming through, clients, comments or reviews or testimonials, things like that. A more proactive approach is really, buying your customers or clients a coffee and having, a face-to-face conversation with them, either on Zoom or in real life, right? That's going to give you such great insights to talk to your actual customers in real time about what is on their mind and what's going on in their lives and in their businesses, is going to be incredible juice for your marketing copy and your headlines and your hooks and all of those things. I think that I tend to like to sort of give people a reward for their time because everyone's very, very busy. But you can do something as simple as, a $10 or $25 Starbucks gift card for like a 15, 30-minute conversation. People are happy to do it. If you do it on Zoom, you can grab the transcript. That's very useful as well. Or if you do it face to face, you can take notes. But those actual words that they use can translate into actual words you use for copy. And that, is going to be super effective. I would say, if you go through this proactive approach, finding three different folks that you can have true conversation with, either your current clients or your prospective clients or customers. And it's as simple as a conversation. It does not have to be very long, but it's going to reveal a ton about what's going on in their mind. Now, the last thing that I want to say too is that as it's important to check in with the mindset and craft messaging that really connects with the mindset of our ideal client quarter over quarter. This also changes year over year. I mean, we just saw last year, every 4 years, an election year, business gets a little wonky for B2B and B2C. Elections tend to be a moment where a lot of people are unsure about where the economy is going, or inflation rates seem to fluctuate, or people are kind of holding tight, kind of holding their breath to see what's going to happen on that larger macro scale in their own country, right? So understanding like where folks are in their mindset on a more long-term, kind of wider lens look is also really beneficial because you can start crafting messaging. Around election time, there were some great, I remember NPR did something really clever where they actually called out to businesses, they make revenue through public donations, but also through advertising, business advertising. So NPR was saying, if you're tired of the election craze, NPR is not taking any political dollars, blah, 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 really connecting to what exactly is going on at that time and saying, hey, business owners, we know that everyone's wrapped up in the election, but if you advertise on our platform, you can rest assured that we are not, that we deliver unbiased news and that we are not going to be accepting election dollars. So you can rest assured that your business is not going to be associated with either side of the coin, which a lot of businesses, kind of want to stay neutral in order to not kind of get in the middle of any political debates, right? But again, this is just an example of how we use sort of things that are timely, things that are going on in real life, in the moment, and help to grab attention. This is also just on a very micro scale. This is a very excellent strategy for social media. So if you want to grab any news or any trending thing that is happening in the moment right now and build that into social media content that you create, or any kind of content, blog content, podcast content, and connect commentary about what's going on in the moment right now to your brand, to your business, to what you do, it helps to draw people in. A really great example of this one is at the time of this recording, the musical Wicked has just come out. And I saw a really great content from a guy that I love, Bobby Parrish, and follow, who is, he's a chef and he does a lot of nutritional content where he's kind of like debunking like ingredients at grocery stores and things like that. Well, he just did a video series on new Wicked themed sugary drinks at Starbucks. And you best believe that stopped my scroll, my thumb on the scroll, because I was like, oh, Wicked's coming out. I want to see Wicked. That's interesting. What does he have to say about Wicked? Because it's timely, it's current. And so when we're talking about messaging, as much as we can be timely and current to what's going on in the world at that time, and also conscious and intentional about what's going on inside the brains, the hearts, the minds of our ideal client, that is what's going to draw our prospective clients and clients and customers into our brand, into our world, into our solutions, our products or services, and help to move them into action and to convert. This is not messaging like this, creating your your landing page add to landing page funnel or your email sequence. It's not a one and done thing. It's a living, breathing process that you must be conscious of really taking stock in, understanding, what messages like worked in the past, what may still work now, or what messaging and communication pieces might need to be upgraded for now in the moment. Okay, so that's probably why your messaging's not landing, why your campaigns are not working, your promotions or your landing page is not converting. You're just simply not meeting your audience where they are, meeting them with what they need now. And as business owners, right, and as the ones that are handling and looking after the marketing, this is one of our biggest jobs, okay? If we can connect with what our clients, our customers, our prospects are going through right now, that's going to draw them in. So we want to have our scalable marketing machine, our set of systems in place that's going to allow us to have the time, the energy to think creatively, to brainstorm, to really pay attention to how you're going to communicate and build these messages for your audience so that you can reap the benefits of that connection in way of, as revenue, right? As revenue and growth for your business. So if you're sitting there and thinking, I don't even know where to start with systems, I feel like my marketing is a mess, I feel completely overwhelmed, I have some free resources for you. I would love you to go check out uglyventures.com. That's ugliventures.com/resources. I've got a bunch of free guides there that's going to help you to create a stronger brand communication strategy to build a brand that gets people talking. I also have a wonderful guide on how to end marketing overwhelm and kind of build these systems into your business so you have that freedom to focus on these really important dynamic marketing tasks that really is the high level work that is a humongously useful use of your time. So that's our episode for this week. If you have any questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Victoria Hajar, Hajjar. You can shoot me a DM, and I would love to talk about messaging and marketing with you and answer any of the questions you might have. I very well might turn it into an episode as well to dig into your specific issue. So don't hesitate to reach out. Next week, we're going to be talking about how we can really use that unique messaging, that pertinent, timely messaging to really drive conversions more specifically. So I'm going to give you some tactics on really conversions and how to make your own luck when it comes to marketing. So I'll see you back here for next week's episode.